Good morning. Happy Monday. It is the beginning of a new week. Good morning. If you're hopping on, just give a hello. Let me know you're here. Give me a thumbs up. Good, I see some hopping on. I'm gonna give it about a minute or two and then I will be right back. Okay, how many do we have on? Oh, we have a few on. Good. Good morning. Okay, so I am in my new shop. As you can see, I have a different view here than I normally have. I'm actually going to work on a tripod now, so I have room to put one. I am going to give you a little tour around my shop. It is, it's about the same size, believe it or not, as my other shop. I don't have like it's just laid out differently. This is a little bit more open. So it definitely works, I think, a little bit better for me. I'm still getting used to it, you know, trying to get the flow of things. And it's weird because when you're used to working in like a certain sequence and things like that, it's, you know, your routine, and of course I got to get used to the new routine because things aren't set up exactly like it was the other way. This is a much better flow for me. I got kind of used to the old way, and when I was working this weekend, it was kind of crazy because I'm like, oh, it's over here, it's over there. So I'm still getting used to it, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna flip this camera. Let me take it off the tripod first, okay? And I am going to flip and I'm gonna let you see, okay? So I'm standing here at the front door where we come in. All right. As you can see, I'll do a quick little scan around the room. I have all of my heat presses here. And then you'll see my tripod's going to be right in the way here. I have the tripod set up. So I'm able to display some of my things on the walls, which I wasn't before. I got much better parking here. I have room for a shipping station, which I had before, but it was a little bit, it wasn't kind of together. I had boxes in different spots. So, and I got my printers down in a line, and I got my rows of my inventory. And I was even able to put a little table desk here, which it was just a kitchen table. And this is the one that I'm going to still use for when I do my blankets. I'll just roll these little carts away. So that's my baby blanket table where I plan on doing all of my baby blankets. Because that's what I've always used for my baby blankets. But now it just becomes a usable table when it's not. And then, like I said, I'll just roll these carts away that I have, and then I'll be able to do it. And then now I have my heat presses are all in one area. Before I used to have my convection oven out in my front room, and I had 2 different tables for the presses. Now I got them together, and I have my mug press down there. And I do have my hat press. I don't use it often, so I kind of have it just sitting off to the side. And then I also, of course, I still use my vinyl cutter. So I don't use it as often, but I still use it often enough to keep it out. So I have that now. And now I have a special little room just for my laser cutter. So my Glowforge is back here. The only thing that I do not have here, I don't have vents. The other place, the gentleman installed dryer vents for me here. I can't do that here. But what I'm going to do is I have my hose vented out the window. We are literally, later today, I am going to cut out some wood, and we are going to have like a dryer vent area put right into here. And you can buy them. I looked online, and they just like, it's a plastic unit that you can use to fit your window. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get that fixed up today. So, because when it gets colder, that's going to make a huge difference. I don't want that window open and all that cold air coming in. But now I have a space for my laser cutter. My Glowforge sits in here, and then I have an area, which I didn't before. I have an extra table now where I can work and put my work at. Okay, and there's my heat press. Like I said, I had it put away. So this is coming back out of the laser room. And then I just have a little area here where this is where I keep all my rounds and my floral stuff. So I've decided I just needed a spot for that because it was haphazardly everywhere. Now I have all of my rounds and stuff. And of course, then I just have a restroom. So that's it. It's not really huge, but it's big enough for everything I need. So it's working. And it's much closer, even though, let me turn my camera around. We're going to put you back up on the tripod. Even though my other shop was only 3 miles, this is less than a half a mile. This is almost literally at the end of my road where I live. So it's awesome. I literally, if I have to, we have a golf cart. I literally can drive my golf cart to work. I didn't because a lot of times I have to run out and get things, and I'll sometimes need things, so I don't have to run to the store. But if I ever had to, I could. So it's nice because it's really close to home. It's closer than even where I thought was close. But here I am. We are in the new shop. I get to do a little bit of displaying things. I am actually, there is a hair salon in the other half of this building. So the lady right next to me is the hair salon. But I love it here. I love that it's my other place. I always called it, even though it was my shop, I used to always refer to it as my dungeon because there was no windows in it where I worked at in my main room. There was a door back there that I had to open, so of course I could only do it during the when it was warm. But if I didn't have that door open, it literally, I was just in a block building. It was an old Dairy Queen. I was in the back room where I spent like 99% of my time. The front room just had where I came out and did, got my prints from my printer. And if I had to throw something into my convection oven, it was out front and things like that. This one now, it is light and bright, and I love that. It's amazing, and I say it all the time, what sunlight can do for the body. It just puts you in a much better mood. So I am in a bright new area. I'm not having to turn off, as you can see, I'm not having to change the lighting and things like that. So I'm loving it. But enough about me. If anybody is, though, you know, anybody ever considers trying to find something or get your work out of your home, I highly recommend that. I have worked out of my house for, up until last year, I was in that building for a year. I had worked in my home probably 8 years, and maybe even about 10 years. And it's something when you change your area, if you can, I know I couldn't for the first 8 years, you know, it was because it was just I really wasn't in big business for myself. I was just kind of like doing hobby stuff. But when I decided to change it into a business, I needed to move it out of my house because when you have your business in your home, it just, for me personally, I know it always felt like I needed to work on something. Something was right there. I just didn't close the doors, and I just didn't go home. You know, there was always something sitting on the table. Oh, well, I got a few minutes. I'll work on that. I'll work on that. And I found myself working all the time. I love being out of my home now and into a building so that I can just close the doors and I'll get to it tomorrow. So, you know, that part I'm really thankful for. Okay, so we are actually going to move on to, I've been putting a lot of thought into what do I want to do, what do I want to do with you guys that's going to be fun, going to be interesting, something we all can like work toward. And we got holidays coming up, and they're the big holidays. There's Thanksgiving and Christmas. I know we have Halloween coming up, and I'm still doing a little bit on Halloween. I don't really celebrate Halloween. Only a few of my grandchildren really trick or treat. It's just not something that we've ever really gotten into. So I figure we'll focus on Thanksgiving. So that's always a really big holiday. That, believe it or not, they say that's one of the biggest traveling holidays of the year. Even for people to come home, a lot of people will not come home for Christmas, but they will come home for Thanksgiving. And that will kind of be sometimes Thanksgiving, Christmas for those that travel. So a lot of people have those Thanksgiving dinners. I have all of the dinners usually at my house. And so I thought, let's work on a nice dinner table. So over the next couple weeks, that's what we're going to do. We are going to build a beautiful, inexpensive Thanksgiving holiday. It could be easily changed out. We're going to make sure that we can change these out. I'm going to make it that way so that you can also use it for Christmas and Easter. But we're going to make a holiday Thanksgiving table. Okay, so that's what we're going to do over the next couple weeks. And each week we are going to build up, and we are going to do, we're just going to add and add and add to it until we get our dinner table done. Okay, so I'm just going to give you some ideas. I'm going to try to keep it as inexpensive as possible. That way, you know, the holidays are already expensive. And I'm going to try to keep it so that we have some core pieces that literally we could change out if we needed to, okay? And then we can incorporate other holidays into that, but you have your core pieces. What is the heat press where I'm standing? Okay, I'll go over that in a minute. I'm gonna go over the heat presses. I do have 2 of them. This is one that I've had forever. You know, I'm probably 12, 13 years now in. This was just one I had got off of Amazon years ago when I was doing vinyl and I was doing heat transfer vinyl. She has been very good to me. I used her so much. And the reason I refer to her as a her is because she is a work boss and she is a lady boss, and I'll tell you this, she has been so good. She is still going strong. A little bit of fluctuation in my temperature. So I'm going to be needing the bigger one today for projects that I have going here in the shop. I have a few garden flags and things that I got to get out. So I figure I'm just going to use this big one. All right, and I've been using the big one a lot. This is a 15 by 15 press. And then this is my 16 by 24. Love, love, love this press. This is from Heat Press Nation. My mug press, which is down below over here that I had gave you a brief little tour with, it is also Heat Press Nation, and my hat press is Heat Press Nation. If you are looking for any kind of heat press, I highly recommend them. Their customer service, outstanding. Okay, and if you have a problem, if you have an issue, they are immediate. They will work with you and immediately get that resolved. So I highly recommend them, and their prices are just average with everybody else. So they're not high, they're not low, they're just average pricing as everybody else. And I trust them. They are right here in America. When you call them, you get them immediately. You get to talk to someone immediately, or you can go online and do like phone call online with them. Online conversation. They get it done immediately, whatever the problem is. So that's where I got these from. I know for a while they were out of stock. I don't know if they're back in. I haven't checked, okay? Let me get a drink. I got a little bit of a scratchy throat. Okay, let me get a straw. Must have been a rough night for me. I woke up with a little bit of scratchy throat, and believe it or not, I think I scratched my right eye. How I did that, I don't know. It might have been taking out my contacts last night because I wear contacts. I might have scratched my eye, but it's been irritated and bothering me since I woke up this morning. Yeah, the stainless steel tables, I do get a lot of people who ask that. I buy these right on Amazon. They are the 5-foot, 30-inch deep 5-foot tables, and I have 2 6-foot tables. This one is a 6-foot, and I think one over there that's holding my large printer is a 6-foot. I have 2 6-foots, and all the rest are 5-foot by 30. They're a little over $200, but I'll tell you, I love them. They are durable. They withstand the heat. I have shelving underneath, and I love them. And that's what I have used throughout my whole shop. So if you're interested, they're right on Amazon. You can look under, you could just type in stainless steel, and that's how I found them. I want to say the place that I usually buy them from is like Web Restaurant or something like that, one of them. But I've bought from 2 different places on there, and I've never had any issues. Okay, so sticking with the Thanksgiving table theme, I thought today we are going to start with these cute little, and these are great for table decor, tray decor, the cute little mini boards, the mini cutting boards. So I just cut these out on my Glowforge. I am going to do a, not really a buy-in because I'm going to cut them to order, but I am going to do a post for an order on these. Let me give you the sizing. And these are so cute because if you do tray decor, the table trays, which I don't have one here and I forgot to bring it here. I wanted to bring it. These are perfect for them because they're small enough to put in the trays, and you can write stuff on them and sublimate them. This is a 5 by 8 size, so I just cut this one out this morning. And we are actually going to use these on the table, all right? I did a cute little saying for it since we are going to be doing Thanksgiving, but these could work for any holiday. You could put any design. We're going to sublimate this, okay? This is sublimatable MDF. It's only one-sided, all right? And it's 5 by 8 size. And you can sublimate these for any holiday. They're perfect in your trays, and they'd be perfect for sitting, just really in your home decor. But these, we're gonna actually add this to our table, our Thanksgiving table. We're gonna have these on a Thanksgiving table. So with this MDF, I cut these in the Glowforge. They're gonna come to you, if you order them, they're gonna come to you a little bit stained. Let me get one that just came off of the and I really shouldn't say stained because they're not stained, but kind of. But when you're working with a laser cutter, you get these little kind of charring, it's almost like soot, because you got to remember we're cutting MDF, which is like a wood, a particle board. So it is actually, a laser's cutting that. So it's burning that out, okay, with precision, like with a precision burn. So you're going to get this charring on the sides, which it's really not a big deal because I'm going to show you why. Oh, I don't have my baby wipes here. Hold on. It's really easy to remove. All you do is, I just buy these cheap baby wipes. I buy these actually at Dollar General. I have one literally right up the road, so I just go and buy a few packs. And then you're just gonna take, I always advise wipe around your edges, because the edges are a little bit sooty. Like if I do this, see how I got soot around it, around the edge. So take that and wipe that clean. I don't really worry about the front because there is a film on here and we're gonna literally just take that off, okay? But you're gonna wanna clean this up because it is gonna be sitting on the dinner table, or even if you're using it, you know, cut ornaments, anything that's cut with the laser, you're always gonna need to clean up a little bit because they do get sooty. Okay. If you want, you can always wipe the front down a little. No biggie. Right, and then I'm gonna let that one dry a little. I already have these ones wiped down. There's a film on these, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this film off. And once we do that, see how there's a film on here? I have so many people when they purchase these things from me, like ornaments, anything like that, keychains, they, you know, they'll write me, sometimes they'll write nasty notes and say, I'm so highly disappointed. This is a mess. I can't believe you would send me this. And then I tell them, peel the film. Okay. Even though I have it in my directions on there, they don't, a lot of times they don't realize that. So look how clear. And it's nice and glossy. So even though that little bit of staining was on there, the biggest thing is wipe up your edges so that you don't get any soot. Once those edges are nice and clean, see, it's nice and clean. All right. And then it's no big deal. And again, we're dirty. We're gonna peel it away. And I know people have given me tips to just, you could touch this lightly to your heat press and it'll kind of lift this paper up a little for you. It's a little easier for you to pull. I do that sometimes, sometimes I don't. I just usually grab a nail under there. See, and we're clean again. So we're gonna do a table setting for 4. That's what we're gonna build up to. All right. But I know this can work, you know, we're just gonna build a table for 4. And over the weeks, I'm going to show you how to build that up. We're going to do it on my blanket table. Every week, we're going to add 1 or 2 new items, depending on what it is. All right. So this week, we are going to start with the cutting boards. Okay, this one's giving me a little bit of problem. So we're going to get that under there. This morning I was out and I was up early. My granddaughter, my 3rd in line granddaughter, started kindergarten today. So Grandma got to go with her to kindergarten. I was surprised because I didn't cry. I cried though when she graduated from preschool. And I thought I would cry this morning, but we was a little bit hustle and bustle, so I didn't get a chance to. When I seen her, she was excited. She went in. My two older ones that are above her, they are in school as well, but they are homeschooled. So I didn't get to, they didn't really never got to get seen off. So she was my first one that I got to see go to kindergarten. So it was, it's one of those bittersweet moments, you know. How time, it's just, time is a thief. I will tell you. Okay, so we've got all 4 of these ready to go. Okay, these are cute little buggers. And I am actually, for this one, I'm going to make a few different designs for these. I'm going to do Christmas ones. I'm going to do one for, you know, I'm going to do a few different designs. I'll probably do one for Easter so that we have it as a table decor as well. But last night, I was up. We was busy last night, but I did get this one ready. And these one's going to be on here, and it's going to say I'm thankful for. Because we are going to set this at the Thanksgiving table. So I'm going to get my cutter. For those of you that are new, you know I love my Carl rotary cutter. This is a 15-inch. Highly recommend it because it does fit your 13-inch papers in it. Your 13 by 19. So let me cut this out. And you know I'm all about straight lines, so we got to get those straight lines. So that's why I love having a paper cutter, because it just helps with lining things up. And I just recently had a post about someone saying that their prints don't come out very vibrant. Okay? I do want to let you know, and I know I put it on the post, that if you're judging how your print looks compared to how your print presses with sublimation, don't judge it that way, okay? Because sublimation is inks are heat activated only. So you are not going to get your vibrant print, and I'm going to show you how this is going to change. You're not going to get your true colors nor your vibrant printing until you apply that heat to it. All right. So let me set this aside. And this just says, and now it looks like it's straight on to you, but this is actually mirror imaged because the camera sees the image mirrored, okay? But this is actually mirror imaged. And this is what I was going to put on the board. It just says I am thankful for. But I want you to see this little guy. Look at his colors, okay? I know he looks a little vibrant there to you. But watch when I press them. Some of these colors are going to change. Look at the blues. All right. All right. So if you're new, you know I love my pressing pillows. I use them to get even pressure, and I use them probably 95% of the time, if not 99% of the time. And the reason I do that is because my heat presses are a clamshell. And if you know anything about a clamshell, the back has more pressure than the front, always. It's just the way it is. The back comes down first. It has more pressure than the front. So this gives it more even pressure. I feel that I can put more pressure and that pillow will even it out. So I use a pressing pillow, and this is just from the Cricut brand. You can get them right on Amazon, right on Joann's. Okay, so it's the Cricut brand, just like the Cricut cutter. It's their brand of pillow, and it has been my favorite. They hold up really well. All right, this is unlined butcher paper. You can buy these at Sam's Club, Costco, GFS, or right on Amazon. I have been purchasing mine at Amazon, and just having it shipped to me. And it literally, you get 1,000 feet for about 20 bucks. So it is the most cost effective. However, though, if you're ever in a bind, and when I first started out, I only used, goodness, the name just came. The parchment paper. That was all I used in the beginning, but it was very expensive. So this is a very inexpensive alternative to that, okay? All right, so we always have to use that in change it out between every print, every press. The way we do that is, the reason we do that is because ink will transfer and have a little ghosting, meaning you'll get a little bit of that ink onto this paper. So if you use it onto your next press, there's a chance that that ghosting or that little bit of slight ink can go onto your next print. And you don't want that, all right? So now all I'm gonna do is, I am going to line this up and I'm gonna tape it down, okay? And this was the reason why we want a really nice, even, let me see, I can't see right here. Okay, I need to get my glasses, sorry. I can't see, sorry. All right, let's do this again. All right, we want an even. We want to be able to do this so that it's lined up correctly. And when you have good cuts and things like that, you're able to see your prints being, although you can see through, it just makes lining up a lot easier, okay? So now all we're going to do is 400 degrees, 60 seconds. I like to do heavy pressure on these. Okay. All right. Let me get these other ones up and going. I'm going to get a new one over here. I think this one here I cut off of the edge because it's uneven and I cut this one wrong. Must have accidentally had it hanging off of my board. So we are going to do a new one. Oh, I need to clean this. So while that's pressing, I'm going to clean this one up. See how dirty it can get, and that's why you need to clean these up. Sorry, I had a phone call, so it glitched a minute. Okay, so let's get these. And these are a little bit warm. So when you get your MDF off of the press, wear some heat gloves because MDF gets really hot sometimes. And I've burnt my fingers many times on it. So I just buy these. These are on Amazon. They're just heat styling gloves, heat tool styling gloves. So all they are is, they're in with like the beauty supplies for like people with curling irons, things like that. That's all they were inexpensive, so I bought them. Okay, let's get this off. Okay, and it says, I am thankful for. All right. And I'm going to show you the difference. I don't know what I did with, there they are. Look how different colors are when you print and when you press. Let me try to cool this down a little. Okay, so look at the difference between, this is hot, between printing and pressing. So don't get nervous if you're new and you get your print out and you're like, well, that's not the color, or look how that's not vibrant, heat activates that. So just remember that, okay? So let's get all of these taped down so that we can get these pressed. All right? So then we're gonna fancy them up even a little bit more. I normally would be working with my back towards you, but I don't want to do that because I would be usually doing that over there. So, all right, I'm not going to work with my back towards you though. Let me get all these taped down. And I'm sure things here in my shop will probably change as I find that I need to. That's not working well there. I think where I have stuff is placed is okay, but you never know. So who here has their first day of school for kindergarten or like first grade, anything like that? Or just, is your school like, this is your first day at school? Because our school, my district here, they started last Thursday. So they went Thursday, Friday, but my daughter's district starts today. So they'll have not even a full weekend before it's time to have it for a holiday break for Labor Day. Okay, another important thing if you're new, when you're printing and pressing, your prints should be up. Okay, so your top of your plate, your heat should come down across the top, okay? You started last week? Yeah. I know most districts have, but like I said, ours started I think it was Thursday and Friday last week, but my daughter started today, so you started 2 weeks ago. Yeah, my sister lives in Ohio, and they started, I think they're in their second week. Might even be like 2.5. It was weird because I was surprised they had started so early. Okay, so 400 degrees, 60 seconds. And this MDF that I have here, I noticed that it really doesn't warp. Sometimes when you I've had MDF before, 3 weeks ago, wow, where the MDF warps, and I haven't really had any issues with this brand that I've been using. School was canceled this week due to someone being off for COVID. Oh boy. Here we go again, huh? It's horrible. Tomorrow will be the start of week 3. Wow. And I don't know if you can see if this will show, but it might not. But there is a little bit of print on here. I can see a little bit of the turkey color. Let me get my glove on so I can get these up and off of here. These we're actually going to have sit out the table. I thought this would be a fun little thing for everybody to have, just to have to write on. So like I said though, you know, I'm going to do something for Christmas with these boards as well. But it just gives family and people, just something to write on or just have fun with when they're sitting at the table. Okay. All right. We'll let these other two cool off, or 3. And we are going to work with the one. And I did notice that normally I would have my heat gun here. And I took it home, I want to say last week or the week before, and I couldn't find it this morning, so I'm thinking, I don't remember unpacking it. I think I left it at home. So we are going to improvise a little, all right? So all I'm going to do now is, I wanted to just add a little bit of decoration across the top, maybe on the handle. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, but I do know I'm going to tie a little bit of this. This I bought right at Michael's, and it was just with their Christmas, and it's almost like a linen burlap, but it's very flexible. So I got that and I kind of like it, so I'm going to do just tie a little bow across the top. So let me get out maybe about 12 inches. And literally I'm just going to tie a little bow onto the handle, just to kind of doll it up a little. I mean, you don't have to. But I am definitely one of those girls that is not less is more. I'm a more is more kind of girl. And all I did was just tie a little bow onto the top. I was thinking about putting a little piece of greenery up there, but I do not have my, glue gun, which kind of stinks. So I'm just going to tuck it. And you could put a piece of twine up there, anything like that that you want. I'm just doing a little bow onto the top. I'm going to tuck a little piece of greenery in there. And I would have probably hot glued that, okay? But I have to improvise because I do not have my glue gun. Let me get this a little tighter. Okay. So I'm just going to tuck it in. And of course I'll need to do that with the next 3, but I'm not going to waste time doing that right now. I'll finish that as soon as, this isn't tucking very well. Okay, it's not tucking well, but I'm going to just leave it be. Normally I would glue that in, but I'm not going to, just because I don't have my glue gun. So I'm going to leave that like that. And then what I'm gonna do is, I have these in my shop. I love these things. These guys are adorable and they're perfect. They are my little stands. They have 3M tape on them. They hold up to about a 5x7, depending on the weight, because I've even had these a little bit. This is a 6x8, 5x8. What did I tell you it was? 5x8. And it's gonna hold this up nicely. 5x8. So I'm actually gonna put this on the back so that it kind of stands up at everybody's place setting. All right, and these are really easy to do because it has 3M on it. The way I always judge it is, I open it up. See how it goes and it folds? I open it up before I stick it on. And then I kind of figure out where about I want it to stand, how I want it to stand. Do I want it to lean more? Do I want it to be more upright? So I get a judgment of that. And this is actually going to probably be about a 1/2 inch below. And I'm just going to stick it on there. And this is going to set at the table placement, okay? See how nice that is? And that's going to set at each place setting for everybody to go ahead and do. And then all I'm going to do is, down below, I'm just going to set a dry erase marker. And then everybody can go ahead and they can put their I am thankful for. So we're kind of doing a little bit of interacting, and and this is great. And if you wanted to do something, if you have children at your table, how fun would this be just to have these little mini cutting boards and give them a marker? And then you can assign, you don't have to put something permanent on here for any holiday. You can just have these out with these little markers, dry erase markers. And then if you wanted to, play little games, if you wanted to do little things, like a lot of times you have those place cards that'll be like it's conversation cards. You can do that, and you can wipe it away, and you can keep doing it, and you can have some fun at the table with these. All right, but since it was Thanksgiving, this is the one that I came up with, and I just figured everybody could write what are they thankful for. You can get all kinds of different colored. This one's an orange one, so this is going to sit at the table. All right, let's do the other 3 real quick. And I'm not even going to put a bow on it. I'm just going to do a cute knot. Just a knot. And I'm going to tuck in a little sprig. Okay. And we're going to continue on with those. And then I'll have all 4 of these done. And I love these little stands. They can even be used if you have a slate, like the slates. They're great on those. I use them for the smaller slates. Now don't use them for the bigger ones, because the slates are heavy. So because they're heavy, sometimes the weight doesn't really hold up well, okay? Might have to figure out a better placement for having this easel when I'm filming for you guys, because I feel like I'm working towards your back. Maybe I'll put it at the other end, because I feel like I'm so far away from you. I'm still getting used to the shop though, so these on quick. And these are really quick and to make. But these are cute little dry erase boards, and they're little cutting boards. And you can fancy them up however you want. You can change the ribbon out. You don't need ribbon at all at the top. I just figure everybody loves a beautiful kitchen or dinner table at Thanksgiving. When all of the kids are over, friends are over, and I know Friendsgiving, my daughter-in-law and son do that now. So they always have a Friendsgiving, which is they have a Thanksgiving for all their friends, and they all come over. And I would have cut this off since I would have glued that in there. But I don't have my hot glue. All right, let's get this last one on here. Then we're going to move on to one more project. And literally, these just stick on. I love these little easels. I love these little easels. These are so cute. Okay, so let's show you these guys. Okay, let me show you these guys here. All done. How cute. So these are gonna sit at our dinner table, okay? Aren't those adorable? And then I will absolutely have a marker with each person at their table. Okay, so those are finished up this week. And, all right, we back? There we are. So let's move these guys over. All right, so I had these drawstring bags, and I thought, what can I do with these? Because I have an abundance of them right now. And they're Sublimation ones, so I thought, let's go ahead and let's put our silverware in it and our napkin in it, so it can be sitting at the place setting as well. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. And we are going to use these actually as the favor. So someone can take it home if they want to. And if not, then you can use it yearly. You can put somebody's name on it. That could actually be their place card as to where they sit if you want to add a name across the top. So we're going to go ahead and sublimate these. I can get these in about a week, so I am going to offer these over in my Etsy shop. These will be over there, so if you want to go ahead and grab those. I'm going to sell them in bundles of, I'll just sell them singly. That way, if, you know, I would do a 4 count, but then sometimes you might only have 10 and you don't want the extras. Or you might only have, you know, 5 people coming. So I'm going to sell these singly. And these are, I'm gonna have to look, but I think they are $3 each. All right. And keeping with that cute little Thanksgiving turkey theme, I am actually going to add this to the front. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, I need to cut it out. So let's get these straight cut. does anybody have Friendsgiving at their house? I didn't even know what it literally was until last year, when my daughter said, oh, we're having Friendsgiving at our house. I was like, okay, what are your friends giving? And then she told me, oh, that's for Thanksgiving. We're having our friends over. Does anybody have that? I thought, well, how cute is that? You know, they have a really great group of friends, and we was already doing our dinner with family, and they just had all of their friends over. But when she first said that, I'm like, what is Friendsgiving? What are they giving you? She's like, no, Mom. Okay. These are, what size bags are these? I think these are 6 by 8. They're a little bit big, but I wanted to use them up. Yeah, 6 by about 7.5. All right, so I'm gonna press these bags first, just to get a good press on them. Make sure they're nice and flat. They are, but I have a little bit of kinks in some of them. And I think these have the fronts that we're gonna have to worry about. Okay. These have these drawstrings in, and these drawstrings will melt. So you have to always let the front hang over your press so that it doesn't get into your press. All right, you don't want those pressed because they will melt. So I do a heavy press on that. Just do a few seconds on it. Yeah. See how nicely they're pressed now. They're nice and flat. And that's what we want, because we want to make sure that we get a good, nice press on our print. With little stockings for Christmas. Yeah, me too. So we're gonna build our Thanksgiving table. And I thought, well, I have these, how cute they would be. All right. All right, so I cut out my little turkey, and he says Happy Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna go ahead and I've pressed these bags before, and I've never had them to worry about them. They do not melt together. They kind of get a little bit like, they don't, I wouldn't say stick together. They do not fuse, so they get a little bit sticky, but they come apart real easy. All right, except for this one's not. I have a bag that's sticking. Make sure these ones aren't. I was going to say I've never had any issues with these bags. So I've never had any issues until today. Okay, that bag did stick together. We might, let me grab another one. All right, I might suggest that you, let me try this one. I don't know why that did that. I've never had these bags ever fused together. Let's try another one and see. This might be the one that you have to immediately, before it cools, you have to open it up. So let's try that. You're always late to the party. Don't worry about it. You can watch the replay. All right. so as soon as you get it off the press, I suggest that maybe you go ahead and open it up. I don't know why that other one did. I've never had any issues with it ever. Okay, so, but if you want to be safe, you can always get a sheet of paper and you can cut it and put it in the middle. I might do that. Let's get Mr. Turkey, and we are going to press him onto here. We'll do 2 bags at a time, since they have to hang over the edge. And please don't forget that, because you will melt the string. All right, I've done that so many times, I forgot when I went to go press it. And I've melted those little strings off. You don't want to do that. Print side up. And let's press it. And I'm going to do a heavy press because it's definitely toward the front. I could do it toward the back if I wanted, or out the sides, but definitely a heavy press. And I'm doing it for 400 degrees. I'm going to probably only do this about 45 seconds. The light shines on my heat press here that I can't, sometimes I can't see the time left on it. I don't know about, is anybody in the path of Ida? I've been seeing a lot of posts down in the south, the Gulf side. I guess Ida's coming up that way. I don't watch the news. I do not watch television. I don't even have television. So, see, I caught a little bit of my, not enough to worry about, but I caught just a tad of that in the press and it melted it. I would definitely suggest that you put some, a piece of paper in between. It seems like these ones here are sticking just a tad, not enough to ruin them, but yeah. These must be a different brand than I've used before, because I've never had this issue with the other ones. Must be. So we are absolutely going to, I'm going to absolutely suggest that you put a piece of paper in between, because this one fused together as well. So, lesson learned. This is a different brand than I usually use. So I am going to suggest that we just stick some paper in between. So that's an easy fix. Put your paper in there, cut a piece of paper. I just cut a piece of paper and all I did was stick it in the middle, and that's going to stop that fusing. We don't want that to fuse together. Right. So let's use this side. We'll get a new sheet of paper. Let's put the paper in the middle before we even put the print on. Make it easier. I'm going to need a new one. And this is why I always suggest that What are you doing with these for Thanksgiving? Yes, I'm just making them silverware holders. Move that used to some. Okay. So we're only doing these for 45 seconds. All right. That's much better. So absolutely a paper in between. It'll stop that from fusing together. So no worries with that. That comes right out. All right. So make sure you put your piece of paper in between. All right. Kind of got that whole turkey theme going on. This piece of paper in here. Let me see, I'm trying to read the post. So your sister lives in Louisiana. Ugh. Item moved east. Okay. Ugh. Yeah. I've just been seeing Facebook posts on it. I don't watch the news, so I'll have to get another print of that one. I don't really, it's horrible because I don't really know what's going on because I don't watch the news. And then I was seeing it on Facebook. Don't really watch any TV. But I seen a lot of people had flooding and stuff. Horrible. So I'll have to do one more print since I don't have another print. Let me see if I can print that out real quick. Okay, that's printing. And that's another reason why I say that you should always have an extra, because even myself, you don't want to be in a bind where you only needed 4 and you only ordered 4. Don't do that. Always give yourself an extra. Because like I always say about my printer, when you let your printer know that you're in a hurry, it don't print. And when and I've done this too, I've only had a certain amount, exactly what I needed, and then something mess up and I'm like, oh great. Okay. So these drawstring bags, they're cute. Just make sure with these ones, you absolutely put the sheet of paper in between because they'll fuse. And I'm going to put those over in my shop. If you've never shopped on Etsy, or if you really don't do a lot of shopping on there, they've added the Klarna, which is like the Sezzle, which you can use 4 easy payments. So that makes it nice if you're wanting to go and purchase quite a few things. I utilize that often because I'll get some big purchases on there. I ordered custom curtains on there, and the curtains, custom curtains aren't cheap, but I loved them. She was a seamstress. They turned out beautiful, and they were exactly what I was looking for, but I used the Klarna on that, so I was able to do the 4 easy payments. And so if you're unfamiliar with Etsy or you don't really use it a lot, it's great for being able to make bigger purchases and break up your payments. And I find myself using it a lot because I figure, well, when I go on, I'm just going to order everything I need. And I'm going to break it down into payments. Last of the 4. These don't take long to do. I think next week I'm going to set you at the other end and see, because where I'm working at, it might work out better. I'm still kind of learning my space here. These only need about 45 seconds at 400 degrees. No news is good news. Nope, not anymore. And as you know, news, I don't care which way you go, like politically or anything like that. I do have to say that the newses are, they are driven to their political agenda, whether it be, you know, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. That's what the stations do, and I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, what happened to the years when the news was to tell you the news, not to swing your vote, not to swing your thought process, not to, you know, feed you certain ways for you to think. I wanted the news to be like it used to be. It's just giving me the news. What's happening, you know? But the news has gotten away from that, and it's become a feeding ground for having you to think the way that they want you to think. And I hate that. So I literally have just given up television. So it's really tough because I don't know what's going on sometimes. And I used to love to watch the news. I always wanted to know what's going on. What's the weather today? You know, what's going on in my neighborhood? But it has gotten so far from that I hate it. I think the news should just be the news. Okay, so here's our cute little bags. We have 4 of them, all right, to go with our 4 place settings. All right, and all I did was I used this Happy Thanksgiving. I know it looks backwards to you, but look how vibrant. These turn out very, very nice. Again, just make sure you put a piece of paper in between there, okay? And I love how these press, and I love how they print because they are very vibrant. I must have got this from a different manufacturer because I could have sworn my last ones did not fuse together like these ones were. And sometimes when my rep, I have 2 different reps overseas that I use, and I'll have to check just to make sure, all right, to see, because I might have gotten from the 2 different. Now, when I was looking for napkins, they didn't have the napkins that I wanted, but I'll tell you, the napkins that I really want are the larger tri-fold napkins. They are the taller ones. I could only find square. These would not be the ones that I would probably use in here. I would probably use they're usually about like 8 inches maybe tall, and they're like a tri-fold, and they're almost like a thick napkin. They are almost like a hand towel kind of napkin. And I want to say Chinette makes them. That's what I was looking for, and I couldn't find them this morning. And of course, it was right after my granddaughter's first day of school, and I was on my way, and I was like, oh, I got to get the napkins. I had forgot them. I stopped at Dollar General. They did not have them, which I didn't think that they would, but I was running late this morning. I spent a little bit more extra time with my granddaughter this morning. So that would be the napkin I would put in here. So we're going to improvise, and we're going to pretend that that's the napkin. And all I would do is I would just put that napkin in. And when considering that that napkin's going to be a little bit bigger, we are going to have it setting out. And then I would just put my dinnerware in here. I'm going to let's bring this camera over because that's what we need to do. Okay. And I would use these as their silverware bags. Okay. Just like sometimes when you go to the restaurants and they bring you those little bags and it's got all of your little silverware tucked in it. We're going to do something really cute within the place setting of this. But look how cute we're starting out. All right. And next week, we are going to add to this. All right. By the time we're done, I'm going to say this is probably going to be like a 4 or 5 week series. And we're going to build this dinner table together. Okay. And there we are. I mean, these are so cute. Where is my... Here, let me grab... Sorry, I got you with me here. So I'm going to set these up, and each week I'm going to have this dinner table starting to set up, and we're going to add to it every week. All right? But how cute is that? And then that way, when Thanksgiving comes around, okay, so that way when Thanksgiving comes around, we are literally already going to have our whole Thanksgiving dinner table built. All right. I'm going to have these bags, Shayna. I'm going to have these bags. They're going to be in my Etsy shop. I'm going to have these bags. I am going to have the cute little cutting boards, the little mini cutting boards there. And they're going to be over there in my Etsy shop as well. So if you approximately know how many people that you plan on having for Thanksgiving or how many settings that you want to do, I would suggest that you start ordering them now. And then that way every week we can do these things together. And then when Thanksgiving comes, literally your table is going to be done. And like I said, you don't have to put that saying on the cutting boards. They could be left blank. You could do, little Pictionary at the dinner table if you want. The kids can use it for drawings. I am going to put up some different themes for those cutting boards so that way you can go ahead and print them out and just press them. Things like that, okay? And the drawstring bags, you don't have to do the Happy Thanksgiving on there. What you could do is you could leave them blank if you wanted, or you could have a name on there. And, considering they're done, let's put them down in. I would say if you wanted to use them as a favor, you can add a name here. They could become your place cards for your setting. Now people know where they're going to set because their name's going to be on it. And I'm going to show you that as we add. All right. So next week we got something else coming, and super exciting because I need to build my Thanksgiving table and I want to be ahead of the game this year. All right. All right. So that's it. I love you guys, and be looking forward every Monday, 10 a.m. If you are watching this as a replay, please post #replay and let me know. I like to see how many people get to view this. I am going to start adding, now that I'm in the new shop, I am going to do once a month, I am going to have an evening here in the shop as well. Because I know a lot of people are working or they just can't get on in the morning. And I want to give sometimes those people, because a lot of times people have questions that they want to ask and they want to ask right then. So I'm going to do an evening as well. Since I'm in the new shop, I'm closer to home, and it'll be a lot easier for me to do here in the evening as well. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to post those bags. I'm going to post the cutting boards as well, and you can go ahead and you can order those. Will I be getting more of the penicillin mugs? I'm probably thinking that you mean the pencil mugs, like the one you sublimated for your Valentine's serving tray. I don't remember which one it is. Yes, pencil mug. I might have a few here. I don't know. When I was moving, I found things that I didn't even know I had. Isn't that horrible? So I've been updating my quantities and my inventory. I had things, like I said, in my other shop, I just had boxes packed, like sitting in corners. And so let me look. I probably, if I don't, it's something that I will consider going ahead to order. All right, so I will consider that as well. I'll put that in my order because I do got some orders coming out because holidays are coming and we need to get those orders in. So let me go ahead and find them. If I update, it might be updated. Check my Etsy shop, okay? All right, guys, I love you all. And I will see you next week, 10 a.m. And let's get ready to finish and add some more to our Thanksgiving table. All right, have a good week. I love you guys and be blessed.